Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going through a client case study with you, and I'm going to tell you a story about a client I worked with at the start of this year, the incredible results that they achieved while we were working together, and what you can take from this in your own business to implement to actually see these results and this massive growth for yourself. So as you can see from the title of this video, the big result which we achieved with this client, the absolute knockout of the park success which she got, was she made her whole revenue from 2022, every penny that she'd made in 2022, she made that in just 2 months working with me in 2023. In 60 days, she made the equivalent of what she made in the entirety of the last year. That is massive levels of growth. I'm gonna break down exactly how she got to that. But first, I wanna share with you these stats because I think this is so important for transparency, for seeing the actual big picture of the story. So I'm gonna share with you what she looked like before in terms of her business and what things actually look like now after we've got all this growth and after she's seen all the success. So flashing back before we started working together, this client was really in a place of not having any income consistency at all, having a few 0K months, cash months, and really just being on that roller coaster in terms of income of some months she would sign a client, some months it would be crickets and nothing at all. And she was also then finding it difficult to consistently show up for her business and be consistently marketing and consistently putting herself out there to actually get new clients in the first place. And just 60 days, 2 months into working together in my one-to-one coaching program, she was signing multiple clients every single month. She actually had consistency in her income, so she was making 4 figures every single month for honestly the first time ever in her business. She was seeing this consistency instead of this up and down roller coaster. And she was finally in a place where she was showing up confidently in her business. She was showing up marketing every single day, and she was just crushing it, honestly. So onto the juicy parts now. So there were 2 main areas we really worked on with her, which honestly, from my perspective as her coach, led to the biggest growth from her and led to her getting this result of making her yearly income from the previous year in just 2 months and 60 days working together. So those 2 big areas were firstly her messaging, so what she was actually speaking about, the transformation she was communicating, the person she was really targeting through her content, through her marketing, how she was positioning herself essentially. And then secondly, the actual audience that she had. So we were working on these because she was very much in a place of firstly, her messaging not being 100% clear how she was wanting to speak to people. She knew what she was talking about, she knew what her niche was, she knew what kind of content resonated with people, but she wasn't really sure how to package this essentially and how to put this into a way which was really clearly understood by her ideal client, really resonated with them, and actually then encouraged them to sign up to work with her. She also wasn't sure in terms of the messaging of her actual offers of how do we talk about these in a way that people can see the amazing value, especially for those intangible pieces of not a direct, I'll help you make 5K extra a month, especially for those pieces that are just a little bit more intangible. How do we actually explain those in a way that really connects with the ideal client and actually gets them to make a buying decision? And then secondly to this, we were needing to really make sure that her audience were the right type of people. So she had a very specific ideal client, so we needed to make sure those people were actually coming in through her content. Those people were the ones that are actually in her audience, especially having a small audience. That actually isn't a problem that it's a small audience. We just need to make sure it's a really targeted audience and a really focused audience. So for her, nailing down that messaging and nailing down the ideal client were the big pieces we needed to work on. And as soon as we shifted this, she instantly saw results. Within our very first month together, she'd already hit her goal, her 6-month goal, for what she wanted her monthly income to be at. So we hit that on literally month 1 working together, and that just continued through the next few months as well, just continued gaining momentum and building on that trajectory. Now the really interesting thing about this particular client, and I see so many clients in this position and just so many people in this position when they are stuck in their business and they're not sure what they actually need to do to get to that next level, what they actually need to fix perhaps, or what they actually need to improve on, or where they should even focus. And this client was really in that position of just not being sure which area to focus on. Should we try and improve the content? Should we do a different offer? Should we try and target a different group of people? She was very much in that space of just being unsure what was the best route, which can be really difficult naturally as a business owner when there's so many different possibilities in front of you. Which route do we actually take? Which is the one that's actually going to get results? So the first big takeaway, the takeaway that you can take from this client case study, is actually just stop guessing what is the missing piece in your business and just find someone who actually knows the answer and get them to tell you, because that's exactly what we did together. She came in and she wasn't sure where was the missing piece in her business. What was the thing which she needed to focus on next? What is the area that she should be putting her attention and her time into to actually grow in terms of the tangible income and the sales and the revenue? And what we did in our very first session was really figure out, okay, what is the piece that isn't quite getting the results she's wanting? And what do we actually need to double down on in her business? What are the areas we really need to focus in on? And we really saw that it was the messaging which wasn't quite converting with people, because she was getting people coming into her audience, which were really her ideal clients, but we weren't really seeing them converting at the rate that we were wanting, because her messaging for her offers and for just who she works with and what she does just wasn't as clear as she wanted it to be. And it wasn't really clear from her ideal client's perspective how she could really help them. So we really honed in one clear message for her, one clear solution, transformation, which she was providing people with. And we just repeated this over and over. And this is what got her the results so quickly. The second lesson that you can really take away from this client case study is that you need the right people in your audience, and you need the right people to be paying attention, listening, and then realizing that they actually need your offers and what you sell. So for this client in particular, that really looked like she did have her ideal client in her audience. It was a small audience, mind you, but we were not only focused on growing that audience, but really focused on how can we convert the people that are already there, because she already had a lot of people who were really her ideal client in her audience. So we were really focused on how can we just sell more, have a really clear message, and make it really easy for someone to actually buy from her. Now, we absolutely could have focused on her trying to go viral and trying to have the best reel possible, but honestly, this was not the move for her. She had a real advantage having that small audience because it was very focused, it was very targeted, and we were really intentional about making sure that we were attracting the right people to her page. Again, being very specific with that messaging, having one core message, which we're just going back to over and over again, which we're really known for, but then also making sure that we were actually focused more on converting those people, which were ideal followers. They were warm leads, but they just hadn't bought anything from her yet because they hadn't been attracted enough to the offers yet, because we hadn't really nailed down that messaging. So really figuring out those pieces in unison together was the thing which got her such big results so quickly. So that is the story of how my one-to-one client made her entire revenue of 2022 in just 2 months working together at the start of 2023. I currently have a final few one-to-one coaching spaces open before my prices are raising at the end of January. So if you're interested in working with me, I will put the link in the description below for the application form for one-to-one, and then we can have a chat and see if it is a good fit for you. Thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure you subscribe and give it a like, and I will see you in the next one.